So, welcome back. Welcome back to Changing RPMs. I think I'm going to stick with the name for now anyway. So, yes, I wanted to share a little bit about why I decided to go with that name, Changing RPMs. I mean, beyond the obvious. Uh, I like this thing that it brings up for me. There's this notion of the ever changing uh, nature of life, and this going back to record collecting for me, feels very related to that, to changing seasons, how we grow up to become different versions of ourselves. And so, and also because I'm counting on pivoting in the future, in the sense of, I don't know, I know myself, and I think that I'll get bored of doing things in one particular way, and I'll probably change things around quite a bit. And so, I thought I like that. I liked the idea of giving that away in the name of the channel. And so now going back to my goal of documenting this process of, falling back in love with vinyl collecting, I thought I'd start with the first record that I bought this year. Because as I told you, this new obsession, this new vinyl obsession started late last year, specifically in November 2024, when I saw Red Cross, one of my favorite bands, live. And so, I bought a few records late last year, but honestly, I'm not sure which they were. And so, what I did over Christmas is that I basically uploaded all my records onto Discogs, and so everything is registered, or everything was uploaded with the same date. And it's only the records that I started buying this year that have been, you know, mm, registered at the time that they were bought. And so I thought I'd start with the first album that I bought this year. As I told you earlier, meaning in the previous video, um, I live very near to Barcelona. I live an hour south of Barcelona, and I went on a shopping spree in Barcelona, and I didn't end up buying as many records as I thought I would. It was almost like touching base again with the stores that I loved going to when I was a teenager. And so I wasn't super impressed with what I found on my first impression. But anyway, what I was really excited to come across was this. I know I showed a PJ Harvey album earlier on the previous video. This is another album of hers, but check this out. I paid 14.90 euros for it. This is a reissue, obviously. And this is part of that. I have a bit of a trauma with some albums that I lost. And I used to have the original. I got it when it first came out in 1996. And this was actually an album that Polly Jean Harvey made with her longtime collaborator, John Parish, who she's been working ever since. I would say maybe not for a couple of albums, but they are the longest collaborators. And this is an album that they made. This is a proper collaboration. It's actually John's name comes first before Paulie's, and it's because it's my understanding that he gave Paulie Jean the demos for these songs, and she was basically writing this album, or her part of this album, as they were touring to bring you my love all over the world in 1995. And so, this is an album is so special to me. It might be my favorite PJ Harvey album, and I wanted also to share it here because it's such a bargain. It's so easy to come across this album very cheap, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. If you are, obviously a fan of Polly, but also, of more, a bit more abstract pieces of music, because most of the tracks in this album are proper, let's say, pop songs or rock songs, but there's an atmosphere throughout this album. There's an approach to the music making that's much more experimental. In a way, it's almost like you will appreciate this album if you have a preference for, let's say, low among David Bowie's discography. If you prefer, or if you really appreciate how the kind of more experimental, you know. Less of a pop approach to music making and to songwriting. Yeah, I'm sure you will appreciate this piece of work. It's beautiful. The tracks are amazing. The repress is nice. It sounds really nice. I think to me it sounds just as good as the original press used to sound. And this is part of the remastering and re-release of all of Polly Jean Harvey's work over the last 4 or 5 years, or for a couple of years, I think, starting 5 years ago. She started releasing all of her catalog, starting with Dry and all the way up to the Hope Six Demolition Project, which was at the time her latest work. And so for every album that she ever made, she published both the original album, and the demos of the album. And that is such a treat for fans. I'm a huge, in case you haven't noticed it yet, I'm a huge Polly Jean Harvey's fan. And as I said, this is one of my favorite albums of her. Maybe um, when she released Let England Shake, her album from 2011, that became my favorite album. Um, but this is definitely way up there for me. Um, there's I think Road Bridge Crossing is my favorite song on this album. Um, but all of them are amazing. That Was My Veil is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ballad. Um, the Urn with Dead Flowers in the Drained Pool. That's also beautiful. I love her cover of Peggy Lee's "Is That All There Is," or the closing track, Lost Fun Zone. All of them, they're amazing. This is one of the two albums that PJ Harvey and John Parish have made. Her second collaboration was called A Woman and Man Walked By, and I was living in the UK at the time, and I actually caught them on that tour. I saw them live at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in London, and it was an amazing gig. I went with my friend Anna, and we had such a nice time. We were both really, really huge fans of Polly Jean Harvey, and that was a very special show. Uh, so yes, I want to to share my passion, my all the enjoyment that I get from listening to this album. And I hope that you're encouraged by this video, and that you go and check it out. Because as I said, I think you might really enjoy it if you're into experimental pop. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from anyone that might enjoy this video. See you soon. Take care.